Well, joining me from Philadelphia is Gabriel Wildau, a political risk analyst for China at the international executive advisory firm Teneo. Good evening to you. Thanks so much for joining us. So tell us, how much of a setback is it for Washington that despite its pressure, Britain has decided on its limited rollout of this Huawei 5G?
It's quite a significant setback. The U.S. really employed a full-court press on the U.K. and on other allies to persuade them to reject Huawei from their 5G network. And what we saw with the U.K.'s decision today is that that effort failed. And it shows really that allies like the U.K. don't appreciate being bullied by the U.S. and more fundamentally, that they don't want to be forced into a kind of a black and white, with us or against us style decision between the U.S. and China, that they actually want to try to steer a middle ground and to maintain good relations with both. And of course, this decision on Huawei is part of a much broader struggle and competition over technology between the U.S. and China. And I think we're going to see other countries that the U.S. has been involved with, like Germany, like Canada, like India, New Zealand, who are all involved in deliberating over Huawei. They will be looking at this decision. It will be a precedent. And to some extent, the UK's decision today gives those countries political cover to make a similar decision about Huawei.
So if it's a precedent, maybe the US might want to make an example of the United Kingdom. Could this jeopardize somehow its plans for a trade deal with the US?
Certainly, that's possible. It could jeopardize those plans, but I tend to think that ultimately it will not. And the reason is that the economic incentives on both sides to conclude that US-UK trade deal are simply too strong. So we saw the US give its best effort to try to persuade the UK to reject Huawei, and part of that effort was threatening to reduce cooperation on trade negotiations. But now that the decision is made, I expect the U.S. to return to a more pragmatic approach and say, look, we did what we could, we didn't get what we wanted, but for the sake of our economy, we want this trade deal with the U.K.
OK, so expecting the U.S. to return to a more pragmatic approach. Well, Gabriel Wildau, political analyst, risk analyst, thanks so much.